Technically, you can still build it on whatever champion you want, but
It happens to be the best on
no
camp.
long range there to get that shot off. All right, let's take another look. No surprises so far, honestly. Because cross-map play, Shen utilization is something that FlyQuest have done for quite a long time. Coming from the top lane, and it allows more of those aggressive plays. If you do have the Shen in the top side, Hai gets into a skirmish in mid lane, ball's instantly there, or Moon is engaging on Rengar, he's got a Shen on his back, and that's definitely a very worthwhile ban against this team.
Yep, LeBlanc also joining in, so one of the stronger mid lane picks is going to get taken out, and Galio plus Cannon for FlyQuest, taking out those top laners, at least for the most part for Galio, but it does leave Lee Sin and Elise for Cloud9. FlyQuest have plenty of picks for the jungle themselves, but I mean, Contracts has looked so good on Elise. If they do want to take jungle here, I think Elise is the most obvious pick for them.
I do, because I also think that Moon tends a little bit to trend more towards the Elise side of the early game matchups than the Lee Sin side. And this is also kind of a little bit of a blocker here. Let's see though, this does open up, first pick for support, first pick for AD carry as well. They could even just lock in their duo if they really wanted to, but have not really shown that tendency.
Well, gonna have Xayah here, so we'll see what else they want to pair with it.
More birds?
So Gragas for a second. Maybe it is time for the All Bird team. No, probably not. There are enough now, right? I think someone figured that out.
For an all bird team?
Yeah,
I think for sure.
Yeah. It might have
so
been
many.
You might have you get benches. Yeah, birds on the bench hanging out. Well, there's Gragas for FlyQuest, so probably not a flex, but certainly a possibility there. Ball's looking just fine on the pick, though, in last game. C9 might want to steal something away, but see exactly what they're thinking about here. And we have seen Cannon be pretty successful for Cloud9 into Xayah in the bottom lane, but of course with that banned away, gonna need a different plan as Varus is locked in there.
Yep, Varus here for Sneaky. Strong lane phase for him. Poke damage definitely was nerfed, but it's still a bit there. Mostly using the arrows now to proc blight stacks though.
Now C9, one more pick to go. 10 seconds here on their third pick of phase 1. See if they want to take away a support. Although Smoothie's pool with 3 bans hitting it last time did seem pretty deep, so probably not worried about any potential target bans. So Renekton instead for Impact is not.
Oh, I like to see some Renekton. Super strong lane bully. Definitely signals early pace to the game. They've got Elise, they've got Renekton. That's a lot of control just right there in the first round of picks for Cloud9 for this early game. They still have a lot of playmaking supports as well. So Smoothie talked about it last game. They threw a lot of support bans as far as getting those playmakers out of the way. Now they're all up. And even though Hai has taken the assassin and he's thrown down the gauntlet again, playmaking supports can really ruin a mid laner's day.
Yeah.
Roaming up mid.
We saw that from Smoothie on the VAD in game number 1. So we'll see what FlyQuest want to do in this next ban phase. Probably want to try and protect the talent pick. There's the Orianna ban to start it off, and Syndra's likely joining that list as well.
They learned, they don't trust Jensen to take the challenge of the assassin v assassin matchup. They're going to have to ban him away from some of those common mid laners. LeBlanc's already banned out on the first round, because of the power of the champion currently. So if they just add the Syndra to this Orianna ban, it feels like pretty decent, mid lane covering as far as the bans go.
Cool. There's a Rumble ban by C9, so targeting the top side, trying to shore up the Renekton matchup for Impact. And there's Syndra, so FlyQuest with kind of the 2 obvious ones. Some of Jensen's most played champions of all time, but certainly this year.
Also, you can see what Cloud9 are doing, banning out magic damage top laners because they see the talent and the possibility, yes, of moving Gragas top is there, but Gragas doesn't put out a lot of damage of any type from the top lane, so would leave you a little bit low on magic damage.
I'll take Rakan out of the mix as well, so breaking up that duo there for FlyQuest, and let's see where they go next here. A lot of different options here. Maybe wanting to last pick jungle again, kind of hide that, although maybe Moon just feels comfy enough on Rengar to go for it, and they'll leave what looks like support counter pick open for Lemon.
Rengar was definitely his favorite champion last split when Rengar was super strong and overpowered, and it was a lot of people's favorite champion. But Moon is one of the guys that's really still stuck with it, right? He still loves the playstyle. He still has an affinity for the champion, and he's committed to it. So the kind of double assassin classic FlyQuest of Hai and Moon is still going to be in effect here. Now, I would definitely expect FlyQuest to lock in some sort of high magic damage mage support to at least add a little bit more versatility to their damage profile. Because as we said, if Gragas is in the top side, mostly tank, doesn't build a whole bunch of magic damage. So maybe a Zyra is in the works for Elimination again.
Well, there's Cassio for Jensen. Not going to be taking Assassin v Assassin. And maybe even something like a Braum for Cloud9. I've seen a lot more Braum in the last week. Kind of funny to see with all these Playmaker sports rising up. Braum was not the first champion that I thought of, but certainly been picking up. But I think particularly against a champion like Xayah, sorry.
Also, I do really like Braum, against all these assassins that are jumping in, because your ultimate is so effective. If Talon and Rengar are both leaping in immediately, Braum can actually get some pretty good interrupts as far as getting off his ultimate, and stacking up your passive onto those melee champions is a bit easier. So he might actually be able to utilize that passive and not only just the Q, but within team fights. No surprise here, though.
Yep, there's a Zyra. You're a genius. Last pick there for FlyQuest. Elimination certainly loves to keep to his current pool of champions, despite the fact that I know he does go absolutely off the rails in solo queue with whatever support's going on, but gonna stick to Zyra here for game 2 as well.
Yeah, actually, nobody really throwing any curveballs here. Jensen, as much as we talk about his great stats, and he's definitely one of the very top mid laners that we have ever had in the North American LCS, his champion pool has always been fairly predictable.
Yes.
And he really does stick with that kind of mid lane core of the Syndra, Cassiopeia, Orianna, and he goes outside of it a little bit sometimes with a couple echo picks and stuff like that to spice it up, but not as versatile as someone like Bjergsen or
no. He definitely strikes me as a player that is kind of slow to learn and master champions, but once he does, he knows it like almost perfectly. Someone that really grinds out matchups. So just tend to stick to the strong picks. That's part of how you get good stats, Kobe. You pick good champions, but not as much versatility here, but should be just fine here with the Cassios. I know Reaper actually was teasing him about Talia a few weeks ago.
Yeah, teasing about Talia. I remember last year, Cloud9 had their own meme about Jensen's Lissandra that we never got to see in LCS, but he had apparently played a bunch in scrims and maybe it did not go well.
Well, I'm sure a much more practice pick should be just fine here as Cloud9 looking to sweep this series and the A stream, actually. We are off on for a very short day, potentially. We'll see if FlyQuest have something to say about it and force a third game. This is the kind of comp I love to see them play. Everyone can kind of get in and get aggressive, although it does backfire about as quickly as it works sometimes.
Yeah, it does. You want to get behind this team, right? FlyQuest are the underdogs. They are the older players, the senior members. They are the ones willing to use assassin champions and go aggressive. Uh-oh, Moon's got the stack #1 on him and flashes early because of it.
Yep, Jensen was ready with the autos, so gonna get a defensive ward down near the Raptors as well. C9 gonna move through this red side of the jungle and sticking around for a little while longer. See exactly where they want to get vision down. As it's a bit of poke from Elimination. Does actually proc Thunderlord, stealing some of Jensen's money away. Looks like we're leaving now, so C9 just with the one ward, I believe.
All right, a couple of counter wards here from FlyQuest. They will get some early deep warding here onto the red quadrant.
Minions have spawned.
Fully see the... ooh, they're getting more than vision.
Yeah, this is riskier, but still vision.
They want to harass the duo as they're heading to the lane to get a health lead here. They got a little bit.
Yeah, not too bad. Don't get tagged by the Q either by Smoothies, so a very small win, but one nonetheless. Elimination even gonna try it again, perhaps.
Oh yeah.
Just waiting to see who moves through. Smoothie, they almost regen back up. Pretty tanky on the Braum and should get health back once he starts proccing the targets. But Turtle is early to the lane, gonna start AoEing it down ASAP.
Yeah, maybe like a 70 health lead or something to start the lane, but Elimination gets a pretty bad trade on the way back here and loses more than that.
Zyra is powerful, certainly very squishy. We saw that in the last game when Jensen Syndra got a little too far ahead for comfort, but gonna have to be careful in the trades as well.
All right, since we so rarely see the Talon, I want to talk a little bit more about the Talon pick because it's definitely one of my favorites. Super exciting. Explosive assassins are, really fun to watch. You have to keep your eyes on those passive stacks. You can see one on Cassiopeia right now under her feet because you go fishing for those stacks with the W that he's throwing out right now, and once you get 2 of them, you have to actually worry about the all-in from Talon, even early in lane. He has the Ignite, and if you jump in with the Q and proc those, you have a lot of bleed land damage too. Here goes Moon though, again, an early visit top onto Impact.
I mean, Impact's just trying to get the trade killer, I think, but Balls is going to wait it out. Moon able to go first blood. Impact just pushed up so far there.
There it is, Moon. I don't think he had an early ward kill, so it was a experienced Quint that would have had to give him the extra edge for this Raptors red scuttle route, which we have seen over the past year, you know, really crop up every now and then. But I guess early ganks up top, you never expected a second time, bro. He's not going to do it again, surely.
Did it slightly differently, but still a similar result there for Moon. In fact, even better, grabbing first blood this time around. Impact rocking the SKT skin, did TP himself back up towards the top lane, but as aggressive as he wants to play, he's going to have to be a bit more careful when stuff like this happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's so early in the game because of this route and because of the probable experience rune that Moon is running. The Impact, again, doesn't expect it, but you have to say, Moon did it last game. He's shown this willingness, and you need to have more respect. You know, put your control ward down 2.5 minutes. Rather than wait a little bit longer. But again, Impact was pushing up on the Renekton. You want to take advantage of that lane, and you can tell he's absolutely smashing in CS.
Ooh, good start going to elimination. Exhaust down as well. Contract with a beautiful stun, and he'll get the kill.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Zyra, as you said, Pastry, squishy and very vulnerable with no flash. So good move again from Contracts. And even though Moon starts out with the first blood, Contracts is very quick to fire back yet again. You know, he knows that the Rengar did this very early clear to the top side, so he has full authority to move on the bottom side of the map, press some wards in, and go for the gank on bottom.
Yeah, Contract just moving so swiftly between these different objectives, as we'll see. Lemon already in trouble when this starts.
Yeah, I mean, they already blew the flash earlier from Lemon Nation, and so it's very easy for Sneaky to make his flash, and as long as you hit that Q, allows Contracts to also follow up with his flash.
Flash through from Smoothie, able to grab it, so nice and accurate there with the bronze. Sneaky there holding onto his summoners, and this push lead's actually turning into a pretty big minion lead as well for Cloud9. Pretty much 20 ahead with this move towards the turret. Total elimination under fire as well. Keep throwing arrows into elimination. And he's still vulnerable for 2-3 minutes. Moon might be looking topside again. Impact does take the blast cone out of the jungle, so
Farming plants.
cutting off one potential path maybe. Still action here on the bottom side, while Turtle now the target, but does get the feathers out to smooth the ignite onto Lemon. That forces the heal out of Sneaky. A little too far on that 2v2 maybe.
Slight advantage in summoners now for FlyQuest. They have the extra heal to work with. Sneaky and Smoothie just want to push this wave back here to get it to reset. High actually.
Oh, Jensen going so aggressive. Maybe look for the flash. Once they get the solo kill, we'll grab it.
Ah, the dangers of playing that melee matchup. Jensen with the poison on High, and he just gets caught out in the middle of the lane. Woo! Again, it looks like it might be a painful game here as Cassiopeia can kill really well.
Very fancy from Contracts calling his mid laner up, but Moon actually already bailing just in the 1v1 total, still taking poke. Sneaky able to dish out some more damage. Very low on resources in the bottom lane, but still fighting it out. FlyQuest certainly not a team to back down. Maybe the back end tags Lemon, needs a bit more. Good roots though. Will prevent the kill.
I'm getting antsy down here. Everybody's so low and they don't have flashes on supports. Would definitely see some returns if the junglers went down there. Moon is in position, but it looks like it's going to be too late. They're going for a recall.
Yeah, Contracts is not, but Moon's going to try and hit both of his
It's not the
ultimate as
recall.
well. And Storm Raiders, this is a speedy cat. Oh, Sneaky's like, oh no, oh no, oh no! Flushed out of the way, Moon gets him now. Look for the double, back in on the Smoothie with the brush. And there's the
There you go. All right, so he gets 2 stacks for the passive, 2 kills for himself, and on the top side, Contracts should be able to bully balls out of lane, but they won't be able to find a kill onto him. And the first turret gold is definitely in FlyQuest's capabilities to take here. They've got 3 members on the turret trying to bully it down.
To be able to try and take that one. Looks like it will be theirs as the wave comes crashing in, but Bottom lane going well is good signs for FlyQuest, given how things started with the Lemon Nation kill. Moon, 3 kills now. In fact, has all of the kills that FlyQuest have picked up. Has some good stacks on the trinket as well, but...
I'm glad that happened. I thought it was getting ridiculous that these bottom lanes were trading so heavily at such low health pools and no jungler attention. Moon finally goes down there and cleans up.
Yeah, at some point you do have to punish, and punished indeed it was C9, but as well as that bottom lane just went, the middle and top parts of the map are not going very well for Fly.
You could say that again. Cassiopeia, 22 extra CS plus he's got the kill. That is very rough times for Talon. Hyde does have his ultimate available, but remember, you know, he doesn't have Ignite anymore, he doesn't have Flash anymore, and if you don't dodge that Cassiopeia ultimate, you're just dead again.
Impact also actually 30 CS ahead now as Balls had to go back. Or the wave is pushing back towards his turret. Was proxying earlier on, so Impact really abusing the early power of his champion. And despite the death, it's actually ahead in gold. Even though Moon did put some early attention there. So we'll see if Fly can kind of leverage the jungler to keep making plays around the map and keep the game afloat. And the gold is nice and even right now, so the plan's working okay as far as how FlyQuest want to navigate this early game.
Yeah, I think the big problem that they're going to face is going to be Cassiopeia, insane scaling champion, as already out to a really big lead. And because Jensen is going with this tier plus Catalyst build, it really just fuels the abuse that Cassiopeia can put out in lane. The one drawback would be that, you know, you kind of run out of mana, but with the double mana items, as well as one of them healing you for mana spent, means she's got multiple sources of healing, tremendous amounts of mana, and can really continue to try and bully high. Good thing for FlyQuest, though, an Infernal Drake this time will go to their hands and help out with some snowballing.
Yep. Strong bot side of the map means FlyQuest able to take the first big objective here in this game. Actually got first turret as well, so that's back-to-back good little leads they're building for themselves. They'll do it again, still close. But FlyQuest with the advantage after taking that Drake down high. Gonna go ahead and grab the blue buff for himself. So see if he can start to leave this lane. Getting pretty held down by Cassio, but at some point his W should clear the wave.
And that's the key you hit on there. He wants to leave the lane. He doesn't have his Hex Drinker completed yet, so he's still a bit iffy about going heads up with Jensen, even though you know, the armor penetration is coming through, the lethality starting. Multiple people here. Contract might be able to bait High in. I guess there's not really a reason for High to go aggressive, as we were just saying. He's still a bit scared in the 1v1, so Contract's more waiting around for a possible Rengar move.
Might even be able to pull the top half of that. Impact still aggressive onto Balls. And they've pinged out onto Moon as well. That'd be a good bit of shutdown goal to grab. And High's going to be really late to this play if C9 go anytime soon.
Yeah, Lemon is also roaming through the jungle, so Cloud9 actually looked like they were indecisive here. They weren't sure if they wanted to go for a kill on Lemon or, you know, help out Impact here on the top side. And in the end, Contract and Jensen kind of abort mission there, and they pull off of the top lane pressure. I think that's actually quite good for FlyQuest that they avoided some confrontation up on that top side. And Lemon Nation is starting to get back some vision for Balls to try and help him out, because it's rough going up there versus Renekton, left all by yourself. And then if Elise continually visits, it's super scary. One of the best dive combos in the entire game. Really nice roam there from Lemon. Smoothie was kind of making his way up, but was in mid lane by the time Fly was setting up that counter play. Instead, they'll push back down the bottom side, and looks like FlyQuest going to finally get Balls out of his horrible lane. And I guess get to a 1v2. Might not be a whole lot better, but see if Toto can push the pace of the game and take down another turret. Looks like Sneaky and Smoothie already basing, so Balls will get a little bit of free time to take the farm that's on the bottom lane. And I like this too. Looking at the macro play here from FlyQuest, they have the turret lead, they have an open lane here, so while Renekton wants to push up and continue bullying the Gragas, he has no safety to walk back to, right? There's no turret for him. So FlyQuest with this Rengar pick can threaten multiple lanes if Moon doesn't show. And if they can control the vision here, which might start to balance it out and might help out with you know, the CS numbers for multiple lanes at once. Currently, though, everybody's congregating around the Rift Herald.
Fly again, do have everyone pulled here pretty quickly, but C9 own the Speed Shrine and have a ward in the pit also, so FlyQuest going to need to do a little more vision denial if they want to get true coverage for themselves around the objective, so no force just yet there. That impact back onto Vols. Good little body slam there to prevent some of that damage, but Renekton's still chasing, gonna dice through, and Vols getting tankier, but it's gonna take a little while longer till he's really safe from all this.
Yep, Impact
trade.
saw Rengar up on top side when they were fighting over those wards, so he knows he can go aggressive in the trades.
Nice stuff there, and Moon again, kind of back to farming after those 3 early kills. C9 now setting up their own play, gonna move Jensen up towards this top side, look for a dive, great off from Sneaky, lands in on, gonna try and grab himself the kill, does do so! And we're only 3 away.
Zyra, such a juicy target. See if Cloud9 can pressure this one down. Turtle actually stayed around for a little bit, but yeah, Contract still being here makes it very dangerous. Meanwhile, bottom side, Moon has gone down there to punish Rengar, but Rengar is Renekton, but Renekton's already gone, heading for a gank onto High.
Oh, nice off from Jensen, but Impact's here also, gonna get the stun chained in as High goes in Viz. Yep, off to the far side of the way. Oh, into the Raptors, could be problems, but able to dash over the next wall towards safety, relative safety.
Yeah, parkours away. Meanwhile, Cloud9 did get the turret there, so they were able to get an objective during that time, and because they can bully High out of lane, now the mid lane is pushing up as well.
Looks like Balls and Moon both showed there, so Jensen's gonna leave, so watch this one again. Just great off from Sneaky.
Yeah, just accuracy. Every single skill shot from Cloud9 hitting, and there's no choice for elimination there. He's toast.
Yep, dies quickly, does burn the ultimate, but not enough to save his life, and can be tough being a Zyra in-game, especially when you start to fall behind. As the red buff over to Contracts, I believe. I think that's one expiring for Moon. So no, still successful. Contracts able to defend his territory.
Yeah, nothing gained back for FlyQuest on the bottom side of the map during that Cloud9 3-man roam up to the top side. So they're feeling pretty comfortable about that. This game is much more winnable for FlyQuest than the last game, though. They're so much more happier with the way this early game has gone. Even though Jensen is beating up on High a little bit, High with roaming around and with Jensen roaming around as well, catching a bit of backup in CS, and High starting to get to his bigger lethality items now. They can try and threaten some side lanes and roam around.
I mean, some of the kind of scaling built into especially Cassio might be a cause of concern for FlyQuest, but in general, I agree with you. I think they're a team that's so good at forcing engages in the mid game, and we saw when they were behind, they did do that in game 1. So if they can find the angles, clear that vision, or just straight up brute force some exchanges, should be fine to get things going. But C9 are doing a nice job controlling the pace of this game, although Jensen
play
might be in trouble. High gonna leap in. Jensen does flash out of the way. They're still chasing their balls, actually gonna line up the next bit of CC, but C9 move back towards the safety of their turret.
Crucial summoner there is, the Jensen Flash. He is the main carry here for this team. We'll see if FlyQuest can actually punish, though, because they did. Oh!
Contracts looks for Lemon, really accurate, and the great flash from Lemon's going to keep him safe. Good heads-up play there from Contracts, and now again, tempo back to Cloud9.
Teleports are available for the top laners if they wanted to try and collapse here, but as you can see, Wild Turtle still split pushing on the Xayah in top side, and he doesn't have a completed item yet, to the Blade of the Ruin King that Sneaky's already finished with, as he heads back up to try and take the rest of the minions and the Rift Herald.
Yeah, now C9 again kind of counterplays an initial play, go for something, burn a flash, and going to force themselves onto this objective. Just all the lanes pushing in the wrong direction, really, in the top side of the map. The Cloud9 able to take that Rift Herald down.
Dragon for Rift Herald, maybe?
Russian Drake is up. Fly already got the first Infernal, so you can look to get 2 Drakes in a row here. Moon and Ball's already there, so it should be an objective trade. As everything irons out. Ooh, good stun again onto High. Oh no, he's grounded. Caught the miasma. Does ulti himself out for a bit of extra speed. But that's moving with a flash ulti. Tags High, exhaust is down. Strangle goes to Lemon. But he dies to Jensen just as it knocks him up.
Zyra has to play so much more safe than this.
Contracts. Oh, good balls. He's going to get the knock up there into Moon with the alley-oop. Jensen still chasing, but nice trade from FlyQuest.
Wow, Balls comes in to save the day right there and scrounge up a kill for FlyQuest. Looks like Elimination almost back out on the field. Impact still pressuring.
And looking to chase him down once Jensen actually goes all in. High still poking Sneaky with the ultimate. Should be able to take down Mooney. Flashes and Sneaky able to get kill number 2. That's going to be the third. No, it's Jensen that grabs it.
Uh-oh. 3 kills now on the Cassiopeia. During that time, Impact also is taking the bottom turret. It's almost dead, and mid lane will be short to follow.
Yeah, and they do have the Rift Herald if they want to use up maybe on the next little push, although Contracts, I believe, is not in the area just yet. He's the one that has the trinket, so mid lane's going to stay up for now. The Impact now moving over, and Cloud9 again just doing such a great job reacting to what FlyQuest are doing and answering every play. Yes, FlyQuest are being proactive, but every one move for FlyQuest that works feels like 2 of C9.
Yeah, let's take a look at this, because remember, the Gragas flash was used to get that last kill, so Balls is so far away, he can't even participate in this. Doesn't have his ultimate either. High was already chunked out, so this was a really risky call, and it gets turned around here as kind of expected. If you take into account all the cooldowns going into that 3v3 skirmish, it was definitely an ill-advised one to take.
Well, it looks like turret push going to start for FlyQuest. Recall completed though for Sneaky. Grabs himself a Zeal and a Dagger. Remember, he's only 2 kills away from the vaunted 1,000. So have to keep track as this game goes on. But again, C9 still in a strong position, up 3,000-4,000 gold already. And a game that was being kept very close by FlyQuest for a little while, kind of starting to open up, and C9 showing that, in skirmishes they can perform, but they just seem to have them out under control at all times.
Rift Herald summoned in the mid lane, and they're going to try and make a strong push. This turret will die to the headbutt, and then how much damage can they get on the second one, really? Because Rift Herald hurts herself on charging, but also just over time as well. Pretty good charge on the second one. Not much damage for FlyQuest there onto the Herald, but here comes the engage.
Of course, again, High also over the wall. Smoothie going to tag him in the queue, though, as Borg around the other side for the fight. Jensen's he's going to get knocked back into the team, but Sneaky grabs his third kill, is able to take it all down. The shutdown onto Jensen does get it in, but Sneaky is looking for a Contracts. No, gets the next one as Impact looking for Lemon or Turtle. C9 again turn it so well around.
Uh-oh, Impact flashes in, gets the ultimate out of Turtle.
Great 3-man route there for Turtle after the Feather Storm, but Moon, I don't really know where he was on the other end of that play, because it looked so good when it started for FlyQuest.
Yeah, he was initially in there with the Rengar ultimate. After they got the kill, he ran back down to that bottom brush on the river, and FlyQuest do give up the extra kills here. Let's take another look at the start of it, because Impact here is fairly difficult to get by. All of the focus is on Jensen, of course. So High goes in first. They get the Braum ultimate out. Balls has another really good combo on Gragas, and he knocks Jensen over into Lemonation's ultimate where Turtle can clean him up. But Moon was forced out of the fight, so he ran down to this brush, and it's too far to jump back in. So Cloud9 there, even though Jensen goes down, Sneaky is able to put up the damage. Impact there on the front line is able to get the extra kill for themselves.
Still looking good for C9. Again, just kind of playing around all of FlyQuest's, like you said, somewhat predictable engages, but still doing a good job reacting accordingly, and they can feel the game is still flowing their way. Blue buff now for Jensen as he just slams down these minions in mid. I just feel that the game is getting pretty quickly out of hand for FlyQuest here. I mean, they are snowballing some Drakes with the mountain up in a minute 40. There is some room there to try and take over the bottom side of the map, but C9 now with the 3 outer turrets down. FlyQuest just don't have room at the moment.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like they're going to be able to win a team fight here with double assassins. I mean, the exhaust is off cooldown now for Smoothie, so it's going to be even worse. Next time the assassins jump in, one of them won't be able to do anything.
Oh no, High stunned up again. Contracts. His third kill of the game. He's taking him away. Sneaky just needs one more.
Yeah. Usually when you're running, multiple assassins like that, you want the game to be spread out. You want to be picking people off. You want this kind of fast-paced game where you're controlling vision and people are scared to farm between lanes. But Cloud9, pretty sizable lead here, as you mentioned, over 5,000.
Yeah, and the pace has picked up really dramatically here. We're only 22 minutes in, and it felt like around 15. Things were fairly even. Turtle does clear out the remainder of the wave in top lane, but Impact is still bullying Balls on the bottom side. He's almost 60 CS ahead in that 1v1. I mean, Jensen also has a ridiculous CS lead. And Turtle's done a nice job, but now he's got himself stunned, does ulti back down. Root Sneaky and Elimination, flashing him with the ultimate, but the heal's going to move him out of the way. Smoothie able to flash and dash his way out to safety.
Smoothie with the Unbreakable blocks that root, and they're able to just walk away. Moon, though, looking for the Rengar ultimate down here. Impact's happy to take it.
Yep, just backs away from the mid lane tier 2 turret. Done a great job so far of just keeping pressure in the relevant lanes. The C9 maneuver around the map and continue to snowball a lead for themselves. I mean, you can see again, FlyQuest are always using their ultimates pretty much on their right off cooldown to try and force a play, but I feel like they need too many things to go right at once, too many cooldowns to all be available, because every time FlyQuest go back in, it just feels like C9 have their flashes ready, someone else is there, they've got the map set up, so even if they lose one, it doesn't matter as much. And now Fly are actually going to lose this next Drake. That was the one thing that were really starting to snowball, but that's going to start going over to C9 as well.
Mountain cleaned up, lots of vision around Baron already set for Cloud9, so you can already see the pings coming down. Objective is clear.
Well, Impact pushing things up. Almost has Titanic ready to go. Decent amount of gold to spend, so we'll see what he grabs on this next fight. Jensen has a Seraph's Transform already. 23.5 minutes in. 3-item Cassio with 3 more item slots to fill. As high as still not finished that X-Drinker. He's getting there.
Yeah, just sitting on the magic resist, I guess. It's the least of their problems now, though. Yep. Let's see if Cloud9 are going to get one of these baits, because the time is running out. Baron is the next objective here. 2 control wards in the river so far, more to follow. And both top laners do have their teleports. So Impact can just get that wave all the way up to the secondary turret, at which point then Cloud9 can pull the trigger.
Sneaky again, getting things going. Smoothie behind him, so kind of feel pretty safe in that situation. TP's ready to go.
I would say that at this point, you know, that's when Cloud9 are spread out, and that's when you kind of want to jump on them with the Rengar, Talon, Xayah, but they're so far behind right now, and they have so little vision. It's a bit risky. They don't have control ward, baby.
There we go again. FlyQuest sticking to the script, but Contracts, I think, approaching that brush at the correct angle. And he's actually pretty tanky this game around. Went more tanky in his build instead of all the damage we saw. Ball still taking a beating here in the 1v1 as well. 2 levels down. Actually, only 1 now as Ball's 14, but C9, this is the force.
Yep, they got Impact all the way up to that secondary turret, so they can pull a trigger on the Baron bait. They get out a Rengar ultimate, and they can just return to their ward coverage, clear out the back of the Baron pit.
Impact again doing some jungling while he waits. Gonna take that Scuttle Crush down. Jensen gonna get the mid lane pushing back in the correct direction. And C9 again will reset, get their waves pushing back for them, and then straight back to Baron.
Round number 2.
All right, let's see if FlyQuest can how they choose to challenge it this time around. Had to use 1 ultimate to save it before. Let's see what they have to burn here, if anything, to stop this next Baron attempt. All Baron bait, because right now FlyQuest do not have vision.
Yeah, and it's so hard too, because Rengar really needs his ultimate to function in a team fight. It's rare that you'll get a good brush jump without having to use your ultimate. So we'll see how Moon positions in this one. Maybe he'll just go for the Suicide Steal.
High's here as well, so FlyQuest I think going to pull the trigger on some sort of fight. Balls is not TPing just yet, but Impact can't see him. Baron is low, might just be a 50-50.
There it is!
They're going to dive in for a Moon, looks for it. Oh, Total actually ends up stealing it. But now High is going to go down. There's Cassio with the next kill. Moon actually going to go down as there's a double kill, but High managing to get a trade despite going down.
Hey, they got a kill as well. Yeah, I mean, FlyQuest are like, what? You're going to leave the Baron at 1,600? Okay, we will burst it. And they do just that. Able to get something back for themselves. Definitely necessary. Let's see how Balls finishes out this 1v1, though.
I mean, already with the ultimate, but the Baron minis are going to help out. Turtle now going to make it an unfair fight, and Impact able to run away.
He had Flash. Impact also had Flash, but not going to continue the chase because the rest of Cloud9 are on the way.
Well, Turtle, though, might fancy picking one off. Pops the W, but not enough to try and take down Impact. And yeah, a bit of a perplexing Baron attempt there for Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, so they pulled off the Baron to try and wait it out, but they pulled off it a little late here. And it was already down to like 1,600. So Moon is like, all right, let's go for it. Everybody in the pit, burst it down. And they do sacrifice for it, but they get that return kill you talked about. So it ends up being a 1 for 2 plus Baron. So definitely good stalling there from FlyQuest. They bought themselves some more time to work with, which they can use to figure out a way to get back into this game, right? You know, they need to still work with those picks and kind of try and spread Cloud9 out, because the direct 5-on-5s front to back team fighting where both teams are equally positioned is very difficult for them to win currently.
Yeah, I'd say heavily favors Cloud9, but this is the right thing for FlyQuest. Get the turrets knocked down and open up the map for themselves and finally try and move some breathing space to really take over with their assassins. Jensen, though, going to put a stop to the next push. Tier 2 top lane, it will be nice and safe, but pings onto the mid lane there for Fly, as they do want to try and at least take down the outer turrets with 1.5 minutes left with Baron. Sneaky, though, going to be here putting a stop to all that. We'll need to spend gold at some point, but happy to kind of wait it out and just take down the minions while Fly try and do something more with their Baron.
Yep, farming it out here. I mean, it's so difficult, right? Because you have to do so many things to set up those plays, and a lot of it for FlyQuest does come from jumping on an opportunity that Cloud9 presents to you. You can do the homework here and, you know, clear out all the vision, try and get your control wards up in your own jungle, your defensive stuff ready. But it also has to be a thing with timing here, where they're able to jump on any opportunity that presents itself, where either Jensen is overextended or Sneaky's separated from Smoothie.
And to Cloud9's credit, they've done a really good job of minimizing any opportunity that FlyQuest have. There are always windows that you kind of have to open, no matter how small, but Tina are doing a really good job of keeping them very tight, and FlyQuest just don't really have any sort of lead, or more importantly, vision to get out and really take advantage of those opportunities, even when they are presented. So
He's gonna run it down on Impact then.
Tina, and they're gonna start the team fight. Elimination looking very vulnerable again. Balls, he's not gonna get some with the cocoon. Great cast there, knocks them all back as the Strangler tries to disengage with Smoothie. Flash ultimate tags too as he does get Balls and Turtle. Context now into the front line. A sneak and a rampage, there it is! Kill number 1,000!
Hey! Congratulations, Sneaky. You joined Double Up and Wild Turtle.
Oh, and now C9 might even cap it off with a win. That's another kill as they chase down Lemon. Knocking down turrets while FlyQuest have the Baron Ball.
Yeah, so that was a play. FlyQuest went for a chase while High was split pushing. A little bit mixed signals maybe there. Cloud9 take it though, and they're gonna take this one inside the base.
Yeah, Sneaky with his GA. Fearless as he shoots down the inhibitor. Moon looking for an assassination. Jetson says no. Miasma's down the entire choke point. High, oh no, do not get stunned. There he is! Gonna be another one, tries to sneak out the back. Sneaky unstoppable. As Contracts does repel out of the way.
That's 1001 now, come on!
Smoothie gonna block it. Unfortunate timing. And there's the inhibitor down as well. I mean, like we said, Baron did give FlyQuest something back into the game, but C9 was still in such a commanding position, and it doesn't take very much to reopen the game back firmly in their favor. Now 7,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so FlyQuest there, you're kind of walking this very dangerous line where you don't want to let up pressure. You don't want them to be able to go answer High split push, but they chase really far here on Impact, and there's no possible way that High can ever join this fight, so they're all in scramble mode trying to get out. Too much damage on the balls, and he ends up going down to that arrow. Look at that, very nice snipe. Stylish 1000 skill, I have to say, for Sneaky.
Certainly a man of Varus and Ash for many, many seasons, so I think suits him as Impact then dives Lemon Nation, who has been the recipient of about every bad situation in this series. It does happen when you play support Zara.
Man, that's rough. Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's the Banshee's Veil. He's aware of how bad the situation is. There's just not a whole lot he can do about it, unfortunately.
Trying to get some vision for his team to work with as well, but again, the area that they have to play with closing in. Cloud9 taking over. Now that the bottom lane is pressing in with super minions, they switch up top. Should be able to clean up this secondary turret and then force onto the second inhibitor.
Yeah, I've kind of just stopped keeping track of the items in C9's inventories because I know they're getting
There's
further
more
ahead,
of them.
I mean,
so.
the breakpoints just aren't really relevant at this point because the comp's already got so much built-in power to it. FlyQuest just need either a mistake or some really, really clever engages to try and break something apart here. Moon again, he's going to try it. FlyQuest have the panache to go for some sort of play, but he's rooted down at Contracts. He's on a killing spree, the Contract killer himself as C9 going to knock down this turret.
All right, they're inside, working on number 2. How quick can they pull it off? Impact actually splits away from the pack to chase high.
He's doing a whole lot of zoning. Almost the entire team's pulling away. He already wants to get the wave prepped here in mid. C9 gonna sneak through the base gate, or at least attempt to, but just waiting for the wave to get in the right spot for them. Impact will eventually have it in a fly. Like, all right, I guess I try and all in you, and Impact's like, that doesn't hurt.
But your Nexus is back here, haha.
It's all a ruse. Nice misdirection there from Impact. Stun lands. Nabs Turtle. Ooh, that was wide from Smoothie. Tries to give him the chair. High's dead, by the way, so he got sold out. Another Nexus turret are going to start falling. It's kind of just crumbling for FlyQuest. Much like their base. The stun lands in, Turtle gets chained before his ultimate can go up. Ball is going to be the next target as Impact going to grab himself a double. Ball going to be the next one as Impact with a triple kill to finish it all off. There's only one left. Moon back to his fountain. Sneaky tries to shoot him down, but another win for Cloud9, looking a little bit better. 2-0 over FlyQuest.
Emphatic victory here for Cloud9. 2-0 and both games not very close.
No, and I think kind of looking at the weekend as a whole for the team, I mean, again, this equalizes them now to 3-3, which is not the most stellar record by any means, but it feels like they're smashing games where they win, and the games they lose are quite close. So that's a good sign for a team that's wanting to show continued improvement, and again, really challenge for those top 2, top 1 spots.
Definitely does bode well for Cloud9, trying to progress through the summer split. Working their way back up to that number 2 spot by the time we do come around.
Well, hugs, smiles, and handshakes all exchanged here. Old friends, these two teams, but the Civil War today was won by Cloud9. And again, FlyQuest, the string of problems do continue, but certainly a team that's still trying to find their feet. C9 though, gonna meet the high fives of eager fans. And
funnily enough, too, because that game kind of got out of hand like that, the most damage done for both teams were by their top laners, who were constantly trading off on their little split push. They're just throwing damage into each other over and over all game long. You know, we talk about, oh yeah, Cassiopeia scale so well, and it'd be this big team fight, and the assassins. But top laners, it's more about slow and steady wins the damage rate.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of the solo kill of one of the more unremarkable games from Jensen, still looking very good as he chucks a smile to the camera. But Cloud9, again, I think really leaning on their macro play in this game. You can see how disciplined and drilled this team has become, and that's what they need, especially as the competition gets fierce. So we saw this against Immortals, like, they need to keep putting themselves in these situations where they can always improve. So I do like that, again, even though they're winning games and doing so pretty handily when they are winning, making sure they keep everything clean, everything precise, and really work towards refining that play week in, week out.
That's what's important when you're playing versus, you know, multiple assassins and teams with a lot of playmaking is, you know, kind of checking all the boxes, you know, not taking a lot of risks, playing more standard, have your front line, and Cloud9, yeah, able to finish it out here versus FlyQuest, which have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, still only the one win. It was against Phoenix once, so they're the better bird team for now, I suppose. But, I mean, I feel like FlyQuest are trying different things. You know, they tried the more standard comp in game number 1, then back to the Talon Rengar there in game number 2. I don't think you can pin individual performances, skill, or even champion picks really on the reason FlyQuest are winning. I mean, at some point, your style kind of gets figured out, and I feel like halfway through spring that might have been the case, and then they had that miraculous run through playoffs, almost clinching third in a very dramatic best-of-5 there in Vancouver. So I don't know exactly what's wrong. I mean, again, I think we'll learn a lot about these teams as we push through the season. Everyone has had issues to start off the first 3 weeks of the split, but FlyQuest, they know themselves that something's kind of a little more deep-seated perhaps in the team.
Yeah, they have been struggling with it for a while, still working on that process. Cloud9, meanwhile, are almost ready for us. We can wait to hear from one of those players.
Looks like we can hear right now for more about the win and his 1000th kill. Let's send it over to Rib and the C9 bot laner.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great cast on the day. I am joined by C9's Sneaky with 1,001 kills in the book as he breaks the 1,000 kill record. Joining Doublelift and Wild Turtle after their victory over FlyQuest. A little golf clap, definitely necessary. Looking at what happened that game, how long you've been playing, what's it kind of mean to get that 1,000th kill and know all this hard work is being put to good use, Sneaky?
I mean, it's interesting. I've never really counted my kills before. I kind of just, you know, I play the support AD carry sometimes. You know, I get 7 assists, no kills, or just die only. So it's interesting to see that I get 1,000 kills, because there are some games where I get a lot, but I think Jensen actually gets the most on the team, I'd say. He almost always has the highest kills in the league. So
I was wondering if it was going to happen. There was like a double kill at the Baron and then slowly, but it did come in for 1,000. And what kind of, is there anything that goes along with the team having fun during that? Like give Sneaky this one, take this one away, make sure he doesn't get it? Or do you guys just play the game out?
we didn't really think about it that much this game. I know the last game versus Immortals, we were thinking about it a bit, but I mean, we kind of just lost the game, so it was a lot different. But in general, there's not really much of like, you know, give me this kill, unless it's a pinna. Then it's like, give me the kill.
Of course, of course. Speaking about that strength of C9, you guys do have a Dignitas matchup next week. They're in the top 3 right now. How are you actually feeling about that match?
It's pretty interesting. They brought on, what was it, Altec and Adrian recently. So I don't know if they're going to use them, but should add to their arsenal of people. And I don't know, the standings overall are just really weird this split. Like all the teams that were in the bottom half last split are just in the top half this split. So I don't know. I think we just need to improve our own game in the next week coming, because we had some pretty shaky games versus Immortals. And I don't know if it was just them playing well or us playing bad. I know we played bad a pretty good amount. We had a lot of just issues within the game that we can try to fix.
All right, I want to step back to this game for one more moment. Called the Civil War. Everybody always has fun in this one. FlyQuest versus C9. Kind of what's it mean to you guys going up against High and the old team in this matchup?
This match wasn't as hype as the other one because, you know, last split we played versus FlyQuest. I think we were both like 8-0 or something. It was really tense in the top of the standings. But this one is kind of like, oh, you know, both teams shit in the bed. So it wasn't as intense before, but it's still fun to play with old teammates.
All right, Sneaky, off the cuff, kind of a fun question at the end. It is the Civil War between you two. So if you were a superhero, are you Captain America or are you Iron Man in this Civil War?
We'll go with Captain America.
All right, there you go. Sneaky fighting for an A and the victory over FlyQuest. Congratulations on the 1,000 kills. We're going to throw it to the analyst desk to break down the rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Riv. Sneaky hitting that 1,000 kill mark, 1,001. Just has to one-up it if he will. But the 2-0 victory here coming through for C9 in pretty dominant fashion. This, at the beginning of the day, we were talking about C9 wanting to return to form. This is reminiscent of that.
I think it's exactly what you wanted to see. Pretty dominant overall, both in laning phase, team coordination. The drafts were pretty solid overall, and you know it's a good bounce back game after what happened versus Immortals. But to keep in mind, you know we think Immortals is a pretty good team now,
right?
And you know it's no longer like, oh my God, how'd you lose to Immortals? It's pretty understandable given how good they look.
Talking about the draft though, interesting thing over for FlyQuest is that jump back to the Rengar for Moon. I mean, this is a pick that we knew he had a lot of comfort on throughout spring and has put up some pretty stellar performances on the champion at times. And this time around, right out the gate, it starts very well for him. I mean, a really nice jungle path through to get an early gank into the top lane, level 3. We'll take a look at that in just a moment as he really ripped through some kills early in the game.
And with Rengar not being as strong in the meta, you do need to find a way to get ahead early on to remain effective throughout the game. So you see this nice path, start things out. This is one of those cheesier paths a little bit where you wait for the Scuttle Crab to spawn, you take XP Quints, so you hit 3 off those 2 camps plus that, and then you make an early gank up to the top side. It's very hard to plan for this if you're a top laner. Even if you spot them out with the Raptor Ward initially, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to see this coming. So a nice first gank, later wraps around down the bot side. You heard that they were trading very, very aggressively. Now they're trying to back out, but it's way too late. Moon's able to go in here and pick up a double kill basically on his own. And now you're thinking, all right, this should be great. Our kind of risky pick is now snowballing out of control. He's going to go assassinate everybody,
We
right?
have a 3-0 Rengar. There's no way we lose this game. It's in the bag. It's in the bag. And then you take a look at the CSD numbers, and you're like, wait a second, what happened?
Yeah, the CSD cumulative numbers, if you add up all the advantages that were available on the side of C9, and then you compare it to FlyQuest, they were at 112 at 5 minutes.
Compared to FlyQuest.
FlyQuest at 69. And then you go, it's plus 43 in their favor. If you think about, you know, around 20 gold a creep, something like that, you're looking at an 800 gold lead, and that's almost offsetting a bunch of the normal advantages. By the time you roll around to about 10 minutes, it's 273 to 194.
That's
now
an
it's 80. It's doubled. You're 1,600 gold behind, and you have 3 kills. That does not nearly make up for it.
If the opposing team is spending time dead and they're still out farming us, while our Rengar's picking up these kills. I mean, that's the thing that we're trying to get at here, is that it's wonderful that Moon's doing work, and I love to see him on a champion like this where he can be a playmaker, but your lanes have to go at least near even to make that worthwhile.
Right, and you saw they had, you know, first blood, triple kill, and then they got the first turret advantage. And even with that, the gold was even. So normally, you need to be making plays to get ahead with this kind of snowballing Talon Rengar comp. They're making plays just to stay even because their laners are getting smashed early on. And that's a huge problem for this team moving forward, is just the ability to hang even with some of the teams that have really talented mechanical players, which is the case with all these imports now.
Now, let's be fair. When we look at the lane matchups, Renekton into Gragas, that's expected win or CS advantage for Renekton, but it shouldn't be 60 plus. Right?
Not when you get ganked level 3 also.
Exactly. Yeah, you're the first person to die. You look at the mid lane, Cassiopeia into town. Okay, fine. Range matchup, pretty easy to harass. I can probably get myself a nice CS advantage, but it shouldn't be 30 to 40. You look at the bot lane. FlyQuest is smashing the bot lane and forcing them out of lane, and yet somehow Wild Turtle's getting out CS by 10 to 15 on for Sneaky. So again, it doesn't necessarily make, there must be some mechanical misstep somewhere in lane if you're just not picking up the free gold, as Kobe calls it. It's on the ground. Pick it up, please.
You need it to stay relevant in this game too. This is one of the first things you teach new players the game. Like, listen, I know it might not feel that important, but if you can get, you know, 5 out of the 6 creeps every wave, 6 out of 6 if you're feeling great, you're gonna start building advantages, and you can actually climb just for having good CSing. Well, in the LCS, you can lose by having bad CS.
Absolutely, and that's part of why Impact is gonna pick up player of the game for this game here on Renekton. Getting ganked early, that would be his only death in the game, building a massive advantage and putting all that pressure into the side lanes, keeping the map wide.
Highest damage available on his team, picks up about 30% of the damage overall. Huge game out of him, keeping the pressure up the entire time. And this really was the kind of case where it was close for a little bit. FlyQuest gets a little bit desperate. C9 answers all those kills. And then once they start getting their own kills, start grabbing their own turrets, the game just snowballs out of control.
I want to close talking about Sneaky, though, as he did hit that 1,000th career kill here today. I just want to reminisce on his career as a player. I feel like he's one of the AD carries, in a sense, that is largely forgotten when we have the discussions around top ADCs in the league. He's always been overshadowed by 1 or 2 people in terms of playmaking potential or carry potential, but at the end of the day, he feels like the most consistent ADC that I've at least seen in the history of the North American LCS.
It's the case where there's someone always flashier than him, it feels like. You have Doublelift for a while, Piglet when he first came over, then you had Stixay when he was on the come up, then you had Arrow come over, and there's always someone else in the conversation. It's never, oh, Sneaky's the best, hands down. But when Bang was giving his thoughts one time about what makes a great AD carry, his first thing was you don't die, and the second thing was you do damage. And when you talk about Sneaky, he's been phenomenal at those 2 things, and you might not notice it every team fight or every game, but he's always there, being reliable and making sure that he is in the right position to not die while hitting something all the time.
So good on him. It's great to see him still in the league and still performing at a top level. We'll see how C9 continues to progress throughout the season. As we close things over here on NALCS 1, it's time now to throw you over to NALCS 2, where Dignitas and Echo Fox are locked in battle around 28 minutes into the game in Game 1 of their series. Enjoy.
I feel like their chances of winning are